let's get into these goddamn clickers. Goddamn it!
Oh yeah. Oh, The Last of Us.
Yeah, that
What a
fungus.
goddamn glorious show.
The HBO got right.
Yeah. I gotta say, this is. I was on the fence because when things are newer in your mind, like fresher in your mind, you think that this is like the best thing. But I'm trying to think like the best, TV adaptations for video games, and obviously the first one that comes to mind is Arcane, because that one just came out fucking left field, and it was so good. But in Arcane, the first episode, you kind of had to get through,
Yep.
and then then it keeps getting better and better and better and better and better. The Last of Us, the first episode, you don't have to you have to kind of get through not fucking crying. This is what you need to do. So, and it's like I didn't tell because me and Kay watched it, and I didn't tell her about like the beginning of like what's gonna happen.
Dude, I didn't know.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know either? Yeah, it's just
I
fucking.
never played the game, dude.
Never played the game.
I was not ready. I fucking cried. I had all kinds of emotions. I like had a bit of a panic attack because the shit was getting kind of too real for me. Fucking airplanes falling like goddamn sky.
And there was like so much stuff was like frame for frame from the game. It was so amazing.
Yeah.
Some stuff.
Like I saw that somebody posted a picture that even the girl, like the T-shirt that she wore to bed or something like that, was the exact same shirt that was in the game, and I was like, "Damn, man, that's taking attention to details to another level."
Well, fucking Neil Druckmann is doing some executive producing and whatnot on. He's heavily involved in this shit, which is awesome. And then the other thing I'll say is I was like fucking Leonardo DiCaprio in that fucking meme and shit where he's pointing at the screen the whole time. Like, ooh, they're going to do the thing. That thing is going to happen. I know what's going, but I didn't want to spoil it for Mishka because I think she saw me play The Last of Us, but it was so fucking long ago. That was on PS3 era, 2013.
Oh, damn.
So she had forgotten and she didn't know where this was going, but I give them props for even some of the slight changes.
I love the changes.
Yeah, like that's not how Sarah looked in the game.
No.
And this was I believe a mixed actress, and she knocked it out of the fucking park. We got to get her name out of here on here. Obviously Pedro Pascal, who's just great in everything. He didn't, not the same ethnicity as Joel in the game, but none of that fucking matters. They fucking rock. Same with Tommy.
Yeah.
But
Nico Parker is her name.
Nico Parker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to her. Maybe she's on my Jenna Ortega list. She's a young talented actress. Props to her. But it looked frame for frame. I was like, oh, they're going to go to Boston next. Oh, we're going to meet Marlene next.
Yeah.
We get the Marlene voice actress.
Look up Marlene.
Yeah.
It played Marlene. I was like, oh shit, that's Marlene. You know what I mean?
Her name is Merle Dandridge.
There you go. Mm-hmm. So I'm all the way on board. This is gonna be a complex, emotional ass fucking tale. And Bella, that's Ellie, right?
Bella
Ramsey.
Yeah. I think she fucking gets it because when she sees Joel fucking beat that ass and kill that, she's like,
oh, let's get some of this shit.
Yeah.
Whoop his ass.
Yep. She is the polar opposite of what's her name, Sarah. Yeah. In terms of like Sarah, when Joel went upside that old woman's head, she was just like, "What the fuck is going wrong with my dad?"
Dude, she cried and said, "You killed her." And he's like, "We got to go."
Going now.
So that's actually one of the changes that I kind of liked because in the game it's not like that.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, in the game, what happens is the neighbor who's a guy. I don't even think it was a neighbor. It's just some random fucking dude smashes through the sliding glass door in the back at night. And that's when Joel gets home and saves her, and he's like trying to talk him down into having to shoot him. And so
he's blasting.
Yeah, but it's dramatic, but I think it's actually more dramatic because it shows a connection between like Joel, Sarah, and the neighbors because there's a lead up to that, and also the fucking creepy ass lead up when the grandmother is sitting in the fucking wheelchair and she's clicking out and shit in the background, but they don't focus on her.
Nope.
And the dog, I was like, oh man,
dog's like, give me the
fuck
coming.
Dude, the dog just sat there and he almost kind of growls, but he's like, he's like, something's wrong, and like Sarah doesn't pick up on it when she leaves. She just
Yeah.
leaves. Like she kind of like notices there's something wrong with the dog, but not the woman, and
Mhm.
she just keeps going. And the dog comes over later. Like the dog tries to stop her from going into the house.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yep.
don't
The
go
sh-
in there, little girl. Run,
the
little
shit
girl.
the shit that was trippy to me is that like normally like when there's like a zombie apocalypse, it starts off kind of slow. It's like, okay, yeah, there's things happening here, it's happening here. Now with this show, it was like that morning in the news, it was like, oh, there's some weird stuff happening in Thailand. By the end of the school day, fucking that watch shop closed and she went home, and then like the old lady started tripping out, and then 2 o'clock in the morning, all hell fucking broke loose. And like I was like, where the fuck is this show going? Like, goddamn, I'm not ready. I'm not. And then it skipped to like what 20 years later. I was
Yeah.
like, holy shit! Like we don't get to see what happens in between. We're just bam right into it. But then like the one scene with the little girl, like the little, I think she was probably like 7 or 8 or something like that, and like she's walking to the compound and like they like stop her or whatever and they bring her in and they fucking test her. The next thing you see them throwing her body into a fucking fire pit. I was like, fuck, man. Like, I wasn't ready. That was too emotional for me.
Yeah, even Casey was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Well, I mean, he was infected, so that's what
Yeah.
Yeah,
happens."
it's infected.
So here's the thing too, like when it comes to The Last of Us Part 1, sometimes because of Part 2, people have these rose-colored glasses on that it wasn't as violent or what.
Yeah.
Last of Us Part 1 gets real fucking
Super
gnarly,
violent.
fucking quick.
Super violent. Hyper
Yeah. And so folks need to fucking buckle up. This is not like a walk in the fucking park. There's going to be some gross ass shit. And really and truly, it's the people, like in all, dystopian zombie tales, it's the people that are going to do some of the most fucked up shit. Not even the fucking clickers or whatever. But yeah, I'm all the way down. Pedro Pascal fucking convinced me. When he was just like, it's I got to go find Tommy. I was like, here we go. That's where the adventure fucking starts. Ellie gonna go with you. And even some of the scenes with the big pipes that they were going through with
Oh yeah.
was it Triss? Is that her name? Shit.
Oh, Tess.
Tess. Yeah, Tess. I was like, oh shit, I remember those scenes in the fucking game. Oh, I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know what the fuck's gonna happen.
You know what's crazy about Tess is that right when we see her, I was like, oh, it's she's from Fringe because it's Avatar.
Mhm.
And I was like, it's so cool to like see her, getting some goddamn work again. So because I haven't seen her in anything for a while. I'm sure she's been acting, but it's good to see her. One of the other changes that I really liked is how the infected kill. That
Yeah.
effect with like the spores like going into like the body and
The
like
roots and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, that was definitely not in the game. They just zombied out and like ate you or like bit you in the game. But in this one with like the tendrils going into the body, that is such a cool effect.
Yeah,
But,
it's better
like-
for. It feels like that's better for a TV series. I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I love how in the beginning they kind of break like the little news thing or the talk show in the beginning with the doctors and the news guys and stuff like that. And they kind of talk about because they mentioned like there is like a fungus out there that can control like an ant and basically turn them into a zombie. And I think everybody's seen that video of the ant fucking going up to the top of the tree and fucking like dying basically.
Yeah,
But like the fact that they kind of use that in this show, but like the fact that they talked about how like it's not like viruses or like bacteria and stuff we need to be worried about. It's like fungus because like we don't really have like a cure or some kind of anti medicine for fungus. And like it's crazy because he had mentioned how like we use we use fungus for like mind altering stuff for like different kind of drugs that we use, and then like people want to get fucking high, they like take shrooms or something like that. And I was like, damn, this shit's right. Like fungus can really fuck with our minds, and we do use it for those aspects. I think that kind of added to the lure of the TV series, which I thought was really cool.
Agreed. Yeah.
So the game is based off of the cordyceps. So Neil Druckmann went to a college professor. I guess he was watching National Geographic about the fungus, and he went to the professor and talked about, hey, because this can really happen. And so he wrote the story based on this. He wanted to make a game kind of like this. You can actually read on, I think it's on I think it's on Games Radar, where Neil Druckmann had a bigger plan for The Last of Us. He had like this bigger world view for the game, and the more he kept editing, the smaller it became with the story. So you see that you can hear about that process and the development of the show. where he talked about how he went to a doctor and talked about, can this happen with mushroom or fungi, and will this happen to us? You know, it's pretty interesting kind of stuff. But yeah, what he talks about. What the actor is John Hamm. I don't know if you guys remember the 1999 Mummy, where John Hamm plays the brother, like the drunk.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Thanks, Bob.
but he's the
Brandon
professor that
Fraser.
talks about. Yeah, he's the professor that talks about the cordyceps. It's a true mushroom. I mean, it's out there in South America, I believe, because it lives in that environment. But that shit's out there. I mean, granted, it's on a very much smaller scale, but it
Just
happens with insects.
gets ants. Yeah,
Mhm.
fucks up some ants.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they also said I guess the National Geographic episode shows a spider too, like
Mhm.
it
Oh
infects a
yeah, I seen the
spider.
spider one. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, fuck.
Dude,
So
they went to so much level of detail. Like Blue already mentioned with one of the shirts that like Sarah was sleeping in, but
Hmm.
obviously Joel looks pretty fucking spot on with Pedro with the green shirt and the backpack looks like the
Yeah,
same, the fucking boots and whatnot. I was like, oh shit, the level of detail is there. Obviously, Ellie with Bella is on point already. I'm fucking ready, man. This is it, you know.
Did the first episode was basically a movie because I think it was like an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes long. So it literally was a fucking movie, and it felt like I was watching a movie. Like the budget for it was like top notch. Like it's I don't know. I was really really blown away with this pilot episode.
Yeah,
it's
the other thing.
funny.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's funny that what I don't remember Joel doing this in the first game, but he's like a drug pusher in the
Yeah,
fucking series.
that's in the first.
It was in the first one. Yeah, he was pushing pretty hard on these drugs. So it was like, oh shit, he's got a little side hustle. Like he has a day job, but he has like a nighttime side hustle. Oh shit.
Hey man, you gotta get those numbers. Those the currency they were using looked like maybe think of back in the day like where food stamps
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah, I did.
when
and
it was like papers and numbers and stuff like that, fake money.
and even from the game, everybody like relates to Joel as the game goes on, but they're very clear from the jump that in those 20 years, Joel has been doing some dirt. Like he's made plenty of
Mhm.
enemies. He's smuggled all kinds of stuff. He's had to hurt people. Like if you listen to the dialogue in the game, Joel is far from a fucking angel, and he like has wrestled with that, and the whole thing of obviously Ellie being kind of a second chance daughter for him is unique because he's done such heinous shit, and we're surprised that he kind of comes around because basically Ellie reminds him of Sarah in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and
But
Yeah.
even at the end of the game, like I mean, what happens to Joel in The Last of Us 2? I mean, that's kind of his up and's coming. I mean,
yep,
because he does
Mhm.
like something in the end of The Last of Us first one that's it's not great. It's definitely bad. So but he did it for his reasons, and most people that play the game understand his reasons. But
When you
yeah,
see the other side,
yeah, people have they have people around them. They have family, they have friends. And if you kill one of them, they might come for your ass. And one
hmm
of them might be kind of swole. So yeah.
If you listen to this podcast, you know exactly who we're talking about.
oh man. I mean, if
yep.
you played the game, you know what you're talking about. But
Somebody might have skipped leg day, but
I was gonna
Uh,
say to piggyback on what Prodigy was talking about, like I didn't realize how like brutal the game was, like until like when I'm playing the game and you sneak up when you first sneak up on somebody and you fucking open up their face with like a brick.
Hmm.
yeah,
And Ellie is like, fuck. She always made some kind of comment like, fuck Joel. Like, did you really have to do that? Like, holy shit, Joel. Like she continually says like little comments about the brutality of the way Joel dispatches people. So I'm just like, holy shit.
But
Like he is
then,
brutal. Like he doesn't choke him out or nothing. He fucking ends them. He brutally ends them.
but
Brutally in the
she,
first game.
and this is not a spoiler for the show, but obviously the game's been out for over 10 years now. Ellie pays attention and learns a whole lot of fucking violence from Joel
yeah,
Oh
and
yeah.
internalizes that violence. People, because she's, especially in this first game, mostly like a teenage girl, they automatically don't think that she's as violent as Joel when if you play both games, her violence keeps escalating and escalating and escalating. She picks up
hmm
on it.
Is she a playable character in the game, or is she just an NPC?
Yeah, she's a playable character in the first one, not for very long, but she's the entire DLC, and for like maybe a scene or a one act, she's playable. And then in the second game, it's pretty much her fucking game. Besides the one very muscular character that'll go in.
Well, I mean, it's actually the game is actually kind of split in two because it's mostly her, but it's mostly Swole Abbey too. So
yeah. So yeah, it's
I'm looking for it. Absolutely, I'm looking forward to the next episode. When do they drop?
Sundays.
On Sundays?
Yeah. HBO knows what's up. They drop that shit on Sundays.
Yeah, we needed another HBO Sunday night kind of show to get us. You know what I mean?
Like we had
Go ahead.
I was gonna say we had True Blood and I think Lovecraft Country. I think that was like a Thursday they would drop or Wednesday.
I think that was Sunday too. Watchmen,
House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones,
Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Westworld, same thing on Sunday.